Hello, hello, hello. Good morning. We're my Saturday morning early risers. It is a lovely day out here in Virginia. I live in Chesapeake, Virginia, and I just want to say welcome to those of you who are new to the 1% Code Collective, and those of you who have been in the group before the name change. I hope you stay. We're changing the vibe a little bit. For those of you who I haven't met, hello, hello, hello. I'm Dr. Melva, your board certified radiation oncologist, wife, and mom of 3. And I help top income earners create multiple streams of income to support the career they love or the one they want to love again. So I'm outside. It is bothering me. Like, we need to get a pressure washer because that is just too much. But I'm outside, and this is really a reflection time for me. So I don't know how many of you get a lot of things done when the kids are asleep, or the husband hasn't had his to-do list for you. But Saturday morning is usually one of my times to do that. So I have on my Coldstone hat. We're franchise owners. Coldstone, we have one. We're working on building out a second one, going through the real estate process for that now, but we've secured the license. And then we also have a Subway, but today's my Coldstone day. It says Coldstone on the back. I was doing some paperwork, but I wanted to share with you a little bit more about this group and about the 1% code. So good morning when you join. Let me know where you're joining from. Say hello. So the 1% code is all about leverage, everything leverage, right? So how many of you are in a high corporate career, doctor, lawyer, you've reached 6 figures, maybe you're an entrepreneur and you've done really well for yourself, but you have days where you're just like, oh my God, there's no more time in the day. Or you look at your bank account and you brought in a lot of money, but it hasn't grown exponentially to the way that you want. And maybe you are making income and it's all active. If you don't show up, you don't get paid, and you don't have other streams. Or maybe you're where I was, where you had other streams, but it wasn't enough that your job could be a hobby. Like, how many of you would love for your job to just be the hobby? Like, something you're passionate about. If you're in medicine, if you're in law, if you're a pharmacist, if you're, a corporate professional, and you just love what you do, but you don't love how it pays you. You don't love what you have to do to get the return on investment. Well, that's what the 1% Code is about. In this group, in the 1% Code Collective, myself and a team of experts will be teaching you how to start thinking like the 1%. And that's leverage. That's multiple streams of income. And it's possible. So I just wanted to share a brief story from this week. So I have autonomy in my clinic. I am a board certified radiation oncologist, and I'm an employee. I don't own the clinic. I don't own the rights to the machine, the patient list, none of that. When I go in, I'm Dr. Melva Pinn-Bingham, and I'm employed and I get a paycheck. But I shifted the type of career or job that I accepted so that I would have more autonomy in how I run my day-to-day practice. And let me tell you why that's important. Because you lose a lot of money and you don't get a chance to elevate the amount of money that you can bring in by your time, by the structure, by your flow. So a lot of people don't realize that. We all wanted these kind of like dream jobs, but I think if I go back and I'm honest about what I look for in a dream job, I thought about geographic location. I thought about being close to family and friends. I considered the school system. I did consider how many after hours I would have to commit, what type of population I would be working with, the leadership. But things that I consider now in this 1% code type of thinking are, how much control do I have over my schedule? Okay, so if you're in a career and you have very little control over your schedule, you're losing money, because it's important to know how you function and when you function best, right? So my hours are early morning hours. I just thrive. Like, my creative brain is working. I'm focused. I usually don't have any distractions. So I'm able to mirror that in my career. Okay, so I look at, when do I start? I don't give my very best hours in the clinic. Let me change that. It's not that I don't give my very best hours. I don't give my very best hours only to the clinic. Okay, so this is where that self-care and that thought about leverage come in. So what I suggest for you to do is look at how you're spending your time in your career now, because either you love your career, you're burnt out from your career. It's one or the two, right? We got a 50-50 chance. But there are probably some tweaks you can make inside right now that would make a huge difference, okay? One of the first things I did, and maybe this will help you, is you know, those meetings that you have to have, and maybe they're people who are talkative, they're not efficient, they waste your time, they're not really high priority, but you have to put them in your schedule on your career. Well, I was listening to a podcast, this is like 10 years ago, and it was a real estate investor, and he said, the third Thursday of every month, you know, just for an example, all of those difficult people or conversations or meetings, they go on the same day, and you just put them back to back to back. And I won't tell you which day or which week because someone may be offended, but I implemented that in my clinic about 6 years ago, and I'm an employee, so you don't have to be an entrepreneur yet completely. You can do this within your job, and I implemented it so that, you know, if it was a sales rep, an administrator that would just, you know, talk about things that really didn't affect my bottom line, didn't bring me joy, didn't increase my energy, didn't affect my patients, I just stacked them all up. And when my secretary asked someone wanted to talk with you, meet with you, email, first of all, I always have people give me an email, send it in writing. I don't get on the phone not knowing what we're talking about, having no agenda. Second, I had her schedule everybody in that slot. So I created a time block for that slot for energy wasters, time drainers. And when I tell you how that has changed just the entire flow, it's kind of humid out here, it rained. If I tell you how much that it changed the entire flow and affected the money that comes in, I don't know that you'd understand it, but I want you to do that. That's your one action for today. I want you to look at your career, or maybe it's another area of your life if you're not currently in the career in your entrepreneurial world. Where can you condense or change your time so that it works the best for you? Okay? This is just an introduction to the 1% code, but I wanted to get out here and tell you about that because it's just phenomenal of what can happen when you start to think about things like time and positioning and the power that you have and where you work best. These are all steps in getting to creating multiple streams of income, because before you even look at another route, like I get a lot of people that are like, oh my God, Melva, you guys invest in real estate and you're doing commercial real estate and you own a franchise. I want to own a franchise. I want to do real estate. Okay, let's look at the work you have to do first. Okay? So when we start to take these baby steps, it leads to bigger steps, and you start to see more opportunities to create more money. So I hope that has helped you today. On our agenda, we have, I feel like it's all baseball for the 6-year-old and the softball for the girls. And I'm like looking for uniforms. That's another thing I did too. And I know it probably sounds crazy, but I got so sick of looking for like uniforms and pants and socks. So I always get like 2 to 3 of everything. And then like I keep my little stash, and maybe some of you moms on here do the same thing. But I'm like, I'm not gonna spend every free moment searching for something. But I did have this jersey, I didn't get one, and I promise I can't find it. That's actually why I'm outside, because my husband gave me his keys. You see how many keys he has? Like, oh my God. To look in his car. That's the last place I haven't looked for this jersey that I didn't get more than one of. That won't happen again. So anyway, happy Saturday. If you know other career professionals, top income earners that are interested in creating more income streams, more fulfillment, more joy, please invite them to this group. I would love to have them, and I hope to grow this community. Until then, I hope I didn't make you hungry with the Cold Stone hat on. Let me know your comments. Let me know your takeaways. Let me know what action step you can take today. And I hope to see you. I'm working on a live every week. Let me know what topics you want to hear, what you need to learn. I'm thinking it's going to be Thursdays at 9 p.m. Eastern. I'm working on making that commitment because my schedule gets a little bit busy. But I want to come in here and I want to serve. I want to help you get to the place where I am, and that is close to that walk away. Close to that walk away if I need it in the career. That is multiple streams of income. That is, I get to choose which hat I put on. If I want to go to Cold Stone today, if I want to go to Subway today, if I want to go be a real estate investor today, if I want to, learn day trading and investing with my stock investor friends who are in this group, I have that choice. If I want a doctor and, spend the entire week and weekends doing talks on breast cancer survivorship and what it means, that choice, that choice is there. And I want that same choice, flexibility, and freedom to be to you, to be available for you as you look for different ways to add to your current wealth portfolio. All right, guys, I'm gone. I'm Dr. Melva. Thanks for joining me in the 1% Code Collective. Bye.